Okay, on question number 1 in the grade 5 pack that's likely for tomorrow's exam, what you need to do on the first question is put the numbers for the interquartile range. You need to write them in order from smallest to largest. Okay, we always have to do that. Order from smallest to largest. Okay, and once you've done that, then you can cross off one from each end to work out which one is in the middle, and then we can work out the lower quartile and interquartile range. Okay, so what's in the middle? It will be this one. Okay. That's the median. The number that's to the left hand side, in the middle of the left hand side of the median, is the lower quartile. The number that's in the middle of the right hand side of the median is the upper quartile. Okay, interquartile range is upper quartile minus lower quartile, so that's 6. Okay, next question. Modal class. Okay, so look for the highest frequency here. The highest number is 18, so the class interval that contains the modal, or the modal class interval rather, is this one. Just copy it exactly as it is in the table. Right, work out an estimate for the mean. So for the mean, we need 2 extra columns. One is called midpoint and the other one is called midpoint times frequency. Midpoint and midpoint times frequency. Okay, so 2.5, 7.5, 12.5, 17.5, 22.5, 27.5. These are the middles. Okay, if you don't know how to work out the middle of two numbers, say you don't know how to work out the middle of 25 and 30, add them together using the fraction button and then divide it by 2. That's how you work out the middle of two numbers. Okay, and then we times across, so we do 12 times 2.5, 30, 6 times 7.5, 45, 4 times 12.5 is 50, 6 times 17.5 I think is 105, times 17.5, 105, okay, 14 times 22.5 is 315, and then 18 times 27.5 is 495. Okay, then you add up these numbers. 30, add 45, add 50, add 105, add 315, add 495. That gives 1040. You then add up the frequency column, okay, which adds up to make 60. Sometimes it tells you at the top, and then you divide big divided by small. Okay, 1040 divided by 60. The answer is 17.3 recurring. Next, similar triangles. So you find two sides that match, where you have both the information, okay, between the same angles. So 6 to 15, okay, you times it by 2.5, okay, and then that means when you go backwards, you divide by 2.5. Now, how did I figure out 2.5? I did 15 divided by 6. Okay, it's not what you add, it's what you times it by. So how do you get from 6 to 15 times by 2.5? Okay. So then work out the length of DF. DF is at the bottom of the triangle, so it matches with this one. So we're going to do 4.2 times 2.5. Okay, and that gives 10.5. And then the next part here, work out the length of BC. So BC is this side, the right hand side, which matches with the right hand side of the other one, but because we're going from the big triangle to the small one, we will divide by 2.5 this time, and that gives us 7.8. Okay, so 7.8 for this one. Next, okay, simultaneous equations. Right, we need the silver calculator for this. I don't think I have the silver calculator on this PC. Just check. No, I haven't got it on this PC, but I will show you because it's similar on my black calculator. First of all, we need to get the equations ready. So remember, there's a secret 1 there. Okay, so that's 1x. Right, so we times this one by the first number of the other row, 3, and we times this one by the first number of the other row, 1. So the top one, if I multiply everything by 3, I get 3x plus 6y equals minus 1.5. Okay, and when I times the other row by 1, I get 3x minus y equals 16. Don't forget to put a minus in between. Okay, and then we're going to use the silver calculator. Now on the silver calculator, it's mode 5 option 1. So mode 5 option 1. Okay, and you enter the A, B and C. So it looks a little bit different on here, but 1, 2 and minus 0.5. Okay, so you enter the A, B and C. On the top row it's 1, 2 and minus 0.5. Remember, if there's a minus there, you must write that number. So on the next row it's 3 and then minus 1 and 16. Okay, and then you get the answers. X is 4.5. Okay, and then y is negative 2.5. Okay, that's fine. Next, cumulative frequency. This is when you add up as you go along. Okay, so we have 7 in the first row. You have another 10, which makes it 17. You have another 12, which makes it 29. Of course, you can use the calculator for this. You have another 19, which takes you to, what's that, 48. And then the next one is another 18, so that takes you to 66. And then you got another 14, which takes you to 80. Okay. What you then have to do is draw the graph. Okay. Of course, you're going to do this using a pencil. Okay. So we do this using a pencil. Okay. Like this. Okay. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay. Where do you plot the points? So. Okay, we'll plot the points at the end points. So we go across to 5, okay, then up to 7. Okay, let's take a look. So across to 5, up to 7. And then the next one you go across to 10, up to 17. So next one 15, go up to 29. 20, go up to 48. Next one 25 up to 66. Okay, and then 30 goes up to 80. Okay, so then you're going to join the points up. You can join from the first point to the last, or you can join from 0 to the last one. Okay, but you shouldn't do this using a ruler. You should do this using like just freehand curve. Okay, use your graph to work out an estimate of the median. So the median, the data goes up to 80. So you draw a line half of 80, which is 40, and then you go down like this. Okay, try to read it off to the best of your ability. Every 2 squares is 1 at the bottom. So mine is around 18. Interquartile range, well, if the median is at 40, and then the lower quartile, quarter of the way, is going to be at 20. So you draw a line across at 20, and then go down, and then you draw a line across at 60, and go down. Okay, so this is, what's that, 11, so that's about 11.5. Okay, and then this one is about 24. So whatever your numbers are, you then take them away, okay, and that gives you the interquartile range. So 24 minus 11.5, oops, on here, and that gives you 12.5 as the median, as the interquartile range. Next, inequalities. Okay, write down the inequality shown on this number line. So it's going to the right hand side of -3, and the circle is open, so its x is greater than -3. If the circle was shaded, then it would have the line underneath. Right, solving an inequality. That's when you've got y's on both sides, you have to move all the y's to one side, all the numbers to the other. Don't forget the golden rule, change side, change sign. So move the y to the left so it becomes -y, leave the 8 where it is, move the -13 so it becomes +13, work down the page like this, don't change it to an equals. 4y minus y is 3y, and 13 add 8 is 21. Okay, where does the 3 go? Underneath. y is less than or equal to 7. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Next, adding and subtracting fractions. Make them top heavy first of all. 3 times 5, add 2. 17. 4 times 2, add 3 is 11 over 4. Okay, and when you have to add or subtract fractions, you need a common denominator. So let's make them both out of 12, because 3 and 4 go into 12. What do you do to make 3 12 times it by 4? Do the same to 17. What do you do to get from 4 to 12 times by 3? Do the same to 11. Okay, and then you take away on the top. 68 take away 33 is 35. Okay, so it's 35 over 12. And then you just need to write down that this is equal to the exam board's answer, like this. Okay. If you get a KFC method, that's divide. Divide is KFC. Okay, again, make them top heavy. So 3 times 4, add 2 is 14. 9 times 1, add 1 is 10. 9 times 1, add 1 is 10. And then KFC, keep the first one the same. Flip the second one, change it to a times. When you times the top two numbers and times the bottom two numbers. So 14 times 9 is 126, and 3 times 10 is 30. What you then do is type this into the calculator, okay, and let the calculator cancel it down to 21 over 5, and then you write down that this is equal to the exam board's answer, which they say is 4 and 1 over 5. That's how to get 4 marks. Next. Okay, complete the table of values for this. So on whatever calculator you have, go to the table mode, okay, table mode, whichever option it is. Okay, it's different on different calculators, and we type this in: 1 plus 5 alpha x minus alpha x squared. Okay, if it comes up with gx, you just ignore it by pressing equals. Okay, there'll be a start and an end and a step. The start is where the table starts at -1. It ends where the table ends at 6, and the step is 1 if it's going up in ones. Okay, so let's copy these values. For -1, it should be -5. 0 is 1, 1 is 5, and then when it goes to 4, 4 should be 5. And one more, 6. 6 should be -5. Okay, so once you've copied all the values, that's great. Then we just need to plot them on the graph using a ruler. Sorry, not using a ruler, using a pencil. Okay, so -1 matches with -5. 0 matches with 1. 1 goes to 5. 2 goes to 7. Hard to see on here. 3 goes to 7. 4 goes to 5. 5 goes to 1. And 6 goes to -5. Okay. So once you've done that, and you can see that they're not in a straight line, then that means it's a curve like this. Okay. Just try your best to use a free hand and just draw a nice curve going through all the points. Okay, that's great. Next, depreciation. Okay, there's a formula for depreciation, and it is the amount that you start off with, which is in this case is 160,000. Okay, you times it by brackets 1 minus the interest rate or percentage, okay, over 100 to the power of the number of years. This is 3 years here. These are all the key bits. Then you type this into the calculator. So 160,000 times 1 minus 4 over 100, close brackets, to the power of 3. Okay, 141,557.76. Okay, it says to the nearest Hong Kong dollar, so we'll make it 141,558. Next, make A the subject of the formula. So we move the minus BD to the left, so it becomes plus BD. Okay, and then to get the A on its own, the C is multiplied by the A, so the opposite of multiplication is division, like this. Solving an inequality, okay, move the minus 4 to the right, where it becomes the opposite of minus, which is plus. And then finally, you move the 5 underneath. Okay, that you can type that in the calculator and it will change it to 8.6. Okay, all of that needs to go on the answer line. Factorize fully means to put it into brackets. Okay, so what's common out of 18 and 12? The highest number that goes into 18 and 12 is 6. Out of e squared and e cubed, the highest one that's in both is e squared. Out of f cubed and f, the highest one that's in both is f. Okay, so we want to get from the outside to the answer at the top. So 6 times 3 is 18. E squared to e squared, we don't need to do anything. F to f cubed, we need to multiply by f squared, put a minus. 6 times 2 is 12. To get from e squared to e cubed, we multiply by e. To get from f to f, we don't need to do anything. This one, the equation of a straight line. The equation of a straight line, if you can remember it tomorrow, is y equals mx plus c. Okay, C is very easy because C is where the graph crosses the y-axis. So if it crosses at -1, like it does here, we don't write plus -1, we just write -1. If it crosses at 3, then we write +3, but if it crosses at -1, we write -1. Okay, I'm just going to write the x in front of it. The only thing I haven't written down is what m is, and the way to figure out m is to choose any 2 points you want on the line like this. Okay, any 2 points. Draw a little triangle. Work out the height and the base of the triangle. So the height is 2 and the base is 1. And the gradient is the height divided by the base. 2 divided by 1 is 2. The only thing you need to remember is if it's sloping this way, it's a -2x. Okay, it's a -2x. That's the only thing you need to remember. Okay, next one, cumulative frequency. We had one of these earlier, except this one has already, the cumulative frequency table has been done for us. Okay, so you don't need to work out the table, you just need to draw the graph. Okay, so zoom out a little bit. Okay, so remember, plot at the end points. Okay, so 40 goes up to 6. Now this one's going up, every one square is worth 2, so you've got to just read the scale carefully here. 50 goes to 20. 60 goes to 56, so 60, 58, 56. 70 goes to 84, 80, 82, 84. 80 goes to 95, 90, 92, 94, 95, and 90 goes to 100. Okay, and then once you've done that, you draw the curve through them. You can start at 0 if you want. It should look like a lovely S-shaped curve like this. Okay, and there you go. Use your graph to find an estimate for the median. Okay, so you draw a line across at the middle. Right, it goes up to 100, so you draw a line across at 50, and then you read it off. Okay, now at the bottom, every square is 1, so that's around 59. Next, calculate the length of this PQ. So PQ, let's label it X. Okay, it's a right angle triangle, which means it's a Soccer question because there's an angle involved. So this side is between the angle and the right angle, so it's the adjacent, and this side is the hypotenuse. I'm not labeling the bottom one because it doesn't ask me to find RQ, and we're not using it in the question, so it's A and H only, so that means it's K. We draw the K triangle like this, and then we make it a bit bigger and fill it in. So this is cos bracket 63, and at the top you have the adjacent 24.3, and at the bottom you have the hypotenuse, which is X. You can see if you cover X, what you're left with is 24.3 over cos 63. There's a divide, isn't there? Because this one's on top of this one. So you must press divide or the fraction button. So 24.3 over cos 63, close brackets, and that's 53.52. Okay, just copy down the display. Next. We have a question here about percentage increase. The formula for percentage increase is difference over original times 100. So, percentage increase. From 2016 to 2017 and from 2017 to 2018. Let's look at 2016 to 2017 first. So the difference between 500 and 545 is 45. So it's 45 difference over the original, which would be 500, okay, times 100. Difference over original times 100. Difference, remember, means the gap between the two numbers. So 545 minus 500. Oops, a daisy. That's on the bottom. Should be 500 there. Okay, so that's 9%. And then the difference between 545 and 592 is 47. So 47. But remember, the original has now changed to 545 because we're just moving across one. So 47 over 545, okay, and then times by 100, and that is 8.6%. Okay. She believes that the percentage increase in 2017 to 18, which is the second one, is more than the percentage increase from 2016-17. So it's actually slightly less. So is she correct? No. Just say that she's no. Okay. Next question is about density. So we draw the formula or triangle for density, dmv. Okay. You want to work out mass, you have to do density times volume. So you have to do 19.3 times the volume, which is 150. Just got to remember that triangle. It goes density, mass, volume. Don't move, Vicky. 2895. Okay, 2895. Right, and the next one, ratios. The total, so we've got three people here, B, A, and J. The total amount that A and J receive is 36. So A and J is the 2 and the 6. The 2 and the 6 add together to make 8. So I'm going to divide 36 by 8. I'm not dividing it by the total of all of them because it says only Asha and Julie receive 36. So that's why I've added 2 and 6 together. 36 divided by 8 is 4.5. So that's one part. Brendan gets 3 parts. So Brendan gets 3 lots of 4.5. So Brendan gets 13.5 or 50. Next, when you see this weight of a cat or 4.3, okay, if it asks for bounds, okay, the highest number that would round down to 4.3, that's the upper bound, is 4.35, and the lower bound would be 4.25. So highest number that rounds down to 4.3 is 4.35. The lowest number that rounds up is 4.25. Okay, this next one is two triangles matched together, so it's going to be and they're right angled, so it's going to be soccer twice. Now what usually happens with these is you have to find the side that's in the middle. So if we look at the triangle on the left hand side, this is the hypotenuse and this would be the adjacent. So we could use Ka to work out A, and let's do that. CAH. So we'll fill it in. It goes cos 40, A goes at the top, and H is 12. And because the cos 40 and the 12 are next to each other, that means we have to times them together like this. We times them together and we get this decimal, 9.19. So that is the value of A, the adjacent here. So you can just cross that out there, write 9.19. Okay. Then in this triangle, we're trying to work out EG, which is this side at the top. Okay, so based on 28, 9.19 is the opposite, and this side would be the adjacent because it's between the right angle and the angle. So O and A is TOA. Okay, so we draw the TOA triangle, we fill it in, tan 28 there, O goes at the top, 9.19, and adjacent goes here, TOA. This time you can see that it's divide because it's 9.19. It's the full display from before, divided by tan 28. Okay, which is 17.288. Okay, and that's the answer.